Hello and welcome. Great to have you along here for the NBA on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Chicago Bulls. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
And the players exchanging a few friendly words prior to tip-off, the getting-to-know-you stage of the proceedings. Welcome, everyone, to NBA basketball here on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's Noche Latina, celebration of Latin culture in the league. It's become an annual tradition and a very good one. Great to be a part of it with you. With Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Now a chance to check out tonight's starting lineups. First, for San Antonio, Johnson is out there with Jackson. Then there's Kersey, and it's Duncan in at the 4 slot. And for the Bulls,
boy, I tell you, the Bulls showed how resilient they could be without Derrick Rose last season. They played competitive basketball, but up against the Western Conference, they just didn't quite have the same punch. Got beat up pretty good out west.
and it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. Pass to Kersey. Duncan outside. Pass to Kersey. Duncan with a screen on our chest. 6 to shoot. Johnson, the pass to Kersey. Lets it go with the 3. Gets it to go. Kersey's got his first 3 points of the game. So it's Chicago now. It's a 3-point game. Passes it to Armstrong. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Clock at 6. The pass to Hawkins. And it's blocked by Kersey. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. Chicago on defense. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, Greg Popovich and I got a chance to talk for a bit. Well, he talked about how tough a matchup the Bulls are for any team because of their defense. He said Coach Thibodeau really knows how to prevent an offense from doing what they want. The Bulls are experts in taking away options. If we're going to win, we'll have to find a lot of different ways to get points. Indeed, they will, guys. Thanks again, Doris. Here is Armstrong. Artest left side. And that one goes in as he is fouled. It'll be 3 points if he converts at the line.
Terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the hit.
That's how you do it, the bump and the bucket.
And back to the Bulls against the West. Not sure what exactly their shortcomings were, but in the end, Steve, they were only able to win 11 games out of the 30 they played out of conference.
You know, the Bulls were a team that could win games on grit and toughness, but the West was a lot more talented last year than the East. And so some nights Chicago just kind of ran into reality, and they didn't have enough talent to deal with some of those Western teams.
Now here's Jackson. Back to Duncan. Outside Jackson. Leads him in there. Johnson. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, he's one of the best teammates in the NBA, too, because he creates so many good shots for the other 4 players on the court. A sensational, unselfish passer.
And his attitude, Steve, just his general poise and presence is something else you notice about him. He's really a calming influence over that team.
And that one misses.
And what an amazing run it was for the Spurs last year in the postseason. swept the Lakers, survived Golden State, and then dismantled Memphis on their way to the NBA Finals. And then, of course, were seconds away from another championship banner.
Well, getting back to the Spurs, they look better and better as they went deeper into the playoffs, Clark. Heat were thought to be the heavy favorites at the start of the NBA postseason. But when they met in the finals, thoughts on who would win, I think, were pretty much split.
Yeah, and eventually, this was one heck of a series because the Spurs not only had experience and talent, but they had multiple options offensively and did such a terrific job sharing the ball. They took the Miami Heat to the limit, but at the end of the day, it came down to LeBron James and Dwayne Wade rising to the challenge.
And so it's San Antonio with it. The Bulls knocking down the three, and the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
And as you might expect for the team with the second-best record in the West, the Spurs dominated the East last season, played each team twice for a total of 30 games, and went 25-5 in that stretch.
And Clark, back to what you said about the Spurs and the East, it was far and away the best record against the conference, Steve, for a team in the West.
Yeah, the second best record was Memphis with 22 wins. So kind of scary to think that they rested their big stars a few times against teams in the East, and they were still able to put up that kind of a record.
Here's Johnson after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Kersey kicks to Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Jackson. Off target from outside.
That's the first miss for this offense. They've hit 3 or 4 to start.
Johnson against Armstrong. Knocks it loose. Johnson attacking, and it's blocked by Hawkins. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Way too loose on that inbounds pass.
The Spurs making a switch here. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. The Bulls have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Number 33 buries the long-range jumper. 8 points for him.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
Yeah, they have the defense on the run right now because every pass seems to have a purpose. They're getting great movement, great spacing, and they're really lining them up defensively.
Tries to keep it alive. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Chicago leading by 3. Here's Hawkins, and it's blocked by Kersey. Hawkins passes to Artest and can't hit the shot, but they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line. He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. That's good from Artest.
Well, the Bulls battled in last year's postseason. Got a Game 7 win in Brooklyn to sneak out of round 1 in what was one of the more interesting series of the first round, but then fell to the Heat in round 2.
Both free throws good from Artest. And for the Bulls, no Rose the whole time, and they had questions constantly being asked if he would return, but the team came together, Steve, and showed the Bulls aren't just a one-man show.
You know, they missed him, though, Kevin, and desperately. I thought they performed admirably, but they really needed him against the Heat. They were able to steal Game 1 in that Eastern Conference semifinal matchup, but without him, the Bulls just didn't have enough firepower to beat Miami.
Spurs trail by 5. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Dishes it to Duncan. Backs him down. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Four on the clock. Shot to stop the drought. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Duncan's got 7 points in the game. The Bulls leading by 3. Brown kicks to Artest. He passes it to Carr. Artest on the wing. Pass to Carr. Just 5 to shoot. And again, no good by Chicago. Spurs trail by 3. Passes it to Slater. There's the dish to Duncan. The pass to Slater. Kicks it to Johnson. Number 5. Good on the three-point shot. And that makes it a tie ball game.
Coach Popovich was fined last season for sitting out his top players in a nationally televised matchup against the Heat. I certainly understand the league's posture there, and it was a lot said about it. Yet, for a veteran team like the Spurs with championship aspirations, I understand resting key players during the course of the regular season.
Now Johnson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. He dishes it to Duncan. And back to that fine for Popovich, $250,000. Steve, that'll leave a dent.
Yeah, no doubt. But, you know, Popovich enjoys tweaking the league at times. This was clearly an effort to do that. But, look, I think it's good for him to actually, you know, kind of let the league know every once in a while that if you're going to give us that kind of schedule with my older team, I'm going to sit them down once in a while.
Daniels dishes to Porter. On the wing, Daniels. He feeds it to Porter. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. Chicago leading. He kicks to Brown. Pass to Carr. Back to Brown. Now Carr. From about 16, up again, cleans up the mess with the savage put-back flush. And now a 4-point Chicago lead.
He sniffed out that board and then powered it back in.
Pure Mike Clark, so strong going back up with that one.
That's exactly what he's capable of, guys. So strong.
Here is Daniels. From outside the arc, here's Rose. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line.
Gotta like the way he took it strong there, attacking the rack.
And the defense fouling him there to prevent the dunk. You know, the Spurs really have a cohesive culture, and part of that is something that Greg Popovich has been able to do, and that's being able to join guys together that normally might not hang out. For instance, you had Matt Bonner taking Steven Jackson out to a Coldplay concert last season. One way to help guys get to know each other off the court, and it helps them on the court.
He hits the second from the line. And back to Popovich and the Spurs, he really makes a point of getting to know his players and have them get to know one another.
That's right, Kevin. He likes to have his players have a sense of perspective about the world. He wants them to know that there are other things going on besides the NBA. In fact, back in 2012, he had the players watching the presidential debates together.
The Bulls have yet to miss from the free throw line. They're 3 for 3. First free throw is good. And both free throws good for Starks.
Well, you can count on him, can't you? He seems to knock down free throws consistently all game long.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Porter passes to Rose. The feed to Daniels. Back to Rose. Leaps for it. Stolen by Artest. Starks with it. Shoots the three. Offensive rebound. And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's the Bulls up 5. Welcome back, everyone, to the second quarter of play here on Noche Latina. Vamanos. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
San Antonio making a switch here. Walker's checked in. For Chicago, they have been good at the line so far, 5 of 5.
Well, you look at the numbers, Kevin. Last year, they were around 71% from the line as a team, so not a very good number there.
Yeah, as a group, really a dismal year for them from the line last season, guys.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Gentlemen, this summer, the Bulls broke ground on a new 60,000 square foot practice facility situated just east of the United Center. Starting next season, it will replace the 12-year-old Berto Center, a half-hour away in Deerfield, Illinois. The Bulls coming back downtown and doing it in style, in a state-of-the-art building with all the amenities, including a rooftop green terrace. Kevin?
Pretty impressive, Doris. Thanks. Here's Starks after the made shot from Walker. Can't get it to go. And we've played through the first minute here in the second. Porter kicks to Daniels. Outside Rose. Pass to Elliott. Feeds it to Daniels. Passes it to Elliott. There's the three. Gets it to go. Elliott's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Boy, that is just good stuff for him. Nice touch.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. The Spurs making a switch here. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. Doubled by Kersey. Artest dishes to Armstrong. And there's the pass to Artest. On the wing Starks. Fires it up. Nice shot from the wing. And the Bulls lead by 5. San Antonio's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Daniels passes to Walker. Pass to Slater. Kersey with the ball. Spurs passing it around. Shot clock at 6. From 6 feet. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
The defense playing way too soft there, guys. He's just getting right to the rim.
Kersey against Hawkins. Artest kicks to Starks. Dishes to Armstrong. He passes to Artest. Rejected by Walker. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. The dish to Porter. Kicks to Daniels. Pass to Kersey. He feeds it to Daniels. Rejected by Starks. Another shot, and they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Rose is checked in for the Spurs. Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Hawkins passes to Artest. He dishes it to Armstrong. Artest on the wing. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Artest's got 12 points in the game.
Well, every once in a while, he'll show us some pretty good moves around the hoop.
Jackson off the pick from Rose. Takes a 3. It's hauled in by Hawkins.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yep, I thought so too, Clark.
It's rebounded by Slater. Spurs trail by 5. Jackson dishes to Porter. Pass to Slater. He kicks it to Porter. 5 to shoot. Here's the feed to Rose. It's hauled in by Artest.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
And the pass to Hawkins. Jacks up a 3. Hawkins can't get that one to fall. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Outside Jackson. Rose. Porter gets a screen from Rose. It's Jackson with the drive. Ball stolen. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Rejected by Porter. And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession. And the Spurs making a change here. Starks against Jackson. 6 to shoot. Feeds to Starks. From 15 feet away. Here's Duncan. He has 7. Duncan right side. Pass to Daniels. Back to Duncan. Backing him down. They need this one. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
Got a good clear look right over the top of his defender because of that height advantage.
Number 12. He's covered by Daniels. Number 33. And he hits the jumper for 2. He's got 10. Spurs trail by 5. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, as you know, gentlemen, Greg Popovich is one of the foremost practitioners of the intentional fouling that sends 4 free throw shooters to the line. Not exactly a fan favorite, and Pop says, quote, I think it's ugly, I think it's awful, but it's legal, it's there. If somebody doesn't want to get hacked, they should shoot free throws better. Guys, he's all about winning. Whether it's pretty or ugly, he doesn't care.
They wear you down, Doris. Thank you so much. And here's our test following the 3 from Jackson.
Rebounds are split just about down the middle in this game, Clark.
I'd venture to guess whichever team is able to maintain that energy level on the glass will have the upper hand the rest of the way.
Now here's Jackson. Daniels kicks to Duncan. Covered by Artest. Dishes it to Daniels. Clock at 4. And he hits it to tie the game up. Daniels has got 4 points this quarter.
He didn't get off to much of a start early on, but he seems to have shaken off the rust here in the quarter.
.34 seconds left in the first half. Number 33, covered by Duncan. Number 33. Got it off in time and beat the shot clock, but it's no good. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
They're knocking down the open shots and really getting a nice flow to their game.
Kersey kicks to Duncan. Backs him down. Here's Spencer. And so it's tied as we head to halftime. Well, folks, stay tuned for the halftime show at Damon Bruce for all the highlights from our first half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And now get ready for the halftime report.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Really an incredible game so far from our test.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he's taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here. That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Johnson outside. The dish to Jackson. He feeds it to Duncan. Fader on the way. No good off the back of the rim.
Boy, that's a shocking miss. That's one of his favorite spots on the floor, and the defense was nowhere to be found.
Hawkins passes to Armstrong. Cannot hit. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Kersey kicks to Johnson. Johnson throws the double. Here's Duncan. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. And 11 points for Duncan. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. Hawkins passes to Artest. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Here's Armstrong. Foul call. Looked like the D didn't get there in time, and he'll shoot free throws. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Come on, you can hit these.
And that one falls for Armstrong. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. San Antonio's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Johnson dishes to Duncan. Kicks it to Jackson. Clock at 6. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Chicago leading. Artest the pass to Armstrong. Fades. And the rebound goes to Duncan. Duncan's got his 3rd rebound tonight. And here's Jackson. Back to Johnson. Left side Jackson. Pass to Duncan. And that one's good. Duncan's got 13 points. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Number 33. And again, Chicago. No good. Walker with a screen for Johnson. Jackson. Back to Johnson. He dishes it to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Walker against Hawkins. Johnson. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. And the Spurs lead by 2.
Get out of here, San Antonio.
Passes to Hawkins. He kicks to Artest. Here is Hawkins, guarded by Walker. Number 12. A three-pointer off the mark.
The Bulls' offense staggered at times, guys, and one reason that was the case last season is they didn't have a big three-point threat. Second lowest in the league last season in three-pointers attempted. They really were a team that tried to score the ball inside.
Now here's Johnson. He passes to Walker. Soft touch off the glass. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
You know, when he gets the ball that close to the basket, it's almost an automatic 2 points.
Well, the defense has to battle him down there and keep him out of position in the first place. Do your work early.
Here is Armstrong. Shot on the wing. And too long on the shot. And Clark, you mentioned the Bulls last season without Derrick Rose, not the flashiest offense, and Steve, that hurt him.
You know, having said that, I mean, that is a team that played relatively slow even with Derrick Rose. But last year, particularly slow, 27th in the league in fast break points. Look, this is a team that hangs its hat on defense and rebounding, and the fans love them for it. But to make that next step, they're going to have to improve their offense considerably.
He's off on the first.
The Spurs have always been very mindful of resting key players during the regular season. Some of it has to do with the age of their players. Some of it is regarding talent because they knew they were a playoff team most years. And you look at the research, there is something to be said for not playing guys when they're fatigued because injuries are more likely if you play tired.
And he's good on the second. And back to the Spurs and their strategy of resting their star players, not without some controversy. The NBA, as you may recall, fined the Spurs and Coach Popovich for sitting all their starting players for a nationally televised game back in November.
Well, it was their 4th game in 5 nights, and Pop wanted to rest some of their guys because of just the nature of their schedule. But I think the problem was he didn't give the league advance warning. And that game against Miami, when he rested those 3 players, he actually sent them home. And I think that was a little shot at the league. And that's why there was a problem, and that's why the Spurs and Popovich ended up getting fined.
Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Chicago calls timeout.
He has to be concerned with all the missed shots. I mean, it happens to every team, but you have to find a way to keep being productive even when you go through a shooting drought.
He might be trying to tell them to get to the free throw line. You know, all teams go cold at points during the game, but the good teams still find ways to score.
Carr working against Duncan. Carr, the pass to Brown. Starks outside. Artest on the wing. Clock at 6. Starks covered by Elliott. To stop the run, and it's blocked by Elliott. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
And they've needed every one of those rebounds. I think that's what's put them in front here.
Johnson outside. Duncan with a screen on Brown. Johnson kicks to Duncan. And it's blocked by Brown. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Six to shoot. Number 5.
They've not had the same success from outside here in the second half that they did in the first. So it might make sense to look at going inside a little more this half.
Now the pass to Carr. Now the feed to Brown. Pass to Carr. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Ripped away. 1:51 left in the third quarter. Pass to Elliott. Duncan outside. Shoots from the elbow. That doesn't go either for Duncan.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
On the wing, Starks. Starks can't get that one to fall.
You know, that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
The Spurs have shot 3 of 7 at the foul line.
Well, you look at last season's numbers, guys, down below 70% as a team from the line.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
The first free throw is good. The Spurs making a switch here. Rose is checked in. And so he hits both. 1:12 left to play here in the third. Chicago calls timeout.
Well, he's got to be disappointed with his team's play over the course of this run. And, you know, thus the timeout. You got to talk things over, try to get back into the game.
Something has to change for them as they haven't looked good at all during this run. So the timeout is appropriate here.
Ball's knocked loose. Porter with the steal. Porter gets a screen from Duncan. Porter dishes to Duncan. And that one's good. Duncan's got 15 points.
Yeah, and he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic, he's really strong.
And something else he has is an array of moves in the paint. You can make a training video for young players to figure out how to play down low in terms of how he gets it done inside.
And it's good. Starks has got his second bucket. And the Spurs with possession. They're on a 15-4 run. Porter against Brown. Porter kicks to Duncan. Backs in. Chicago grabs the miss. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left him no choice but to foul there.
And this will be his second and third shots at the line here. The first one falls. The Spurs making a switch here. And so Duncan hits them both. Armstrong against Porter. Now Armstrong. Can't hit from in close. Well, through 3/4 of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And San Antonio has possession. They lead by 11, the largest margin of the game. Jackson passes to Porter. Rose sets the screen for Porter. Back to Jackson. The pick gave him all the room he needed, and he knocks down the J. Jackson's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for San Antonio. Hawkins kicks to Armstrong. Just 5 on the clock. Artest, good. Here's Jackson. Now here's Porter. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Terrific play right there. Great strength to finish through the hit.
That's how you do it, the bump and the bucket.
Duncan, he's checked in for Rose. Free throw good, Porter. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Feeds it to Artest. Number 12, guarded by Jackson. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Slater. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
And also the steals. I mean, they've really been harassing the ball today, forcing mistakes, really turning that into their advantage.
And the first one at the line is good. The Spurs making a switch here. All free throws good from Slater. Bulls trail by 16. Armstrong with it. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. About a minute and a half into the fourth quarter now. Here's Johnson. Dishes to Duncan. Fires from 14. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. And that's 19 points for Duncan.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Chicago calls timeout. You have to like what we're seeing from Duncan.
He just continues to light them up. They're going to have to find a way to make him work harder for his points.
And the Bulls making a change here. Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Shots good by Carr.
They had that play ready to go. Well done on the inbound.
Spurs leading by 14. Number 5, covered by Starks. Back to Walker. There's the dish to Johnson. Walker is screen on Armstrong. Shot clock at 6. Number 5. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
But the defense just looked a little lazy on the glass there.
Yeah, nobody boxing out. That's inexcusable.
And here's Armstrong. Outside for Starks. Passes it to Carr. Artest. A rebound by the Spurs. Duncan's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number one, this game is out of hand.
Exactly. I mean, the score is right where you'd expect it to be when the battle on the boards is that lopsided.
The pass to Slater. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
Boy, that's embarrassing, guys. He's going to have a hard time living that one down later when they watch it on tape.
Elliott's checked in for San Antonio. Bulls trail by 16. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
You got this, baby, yeah!
And the first one drops. So he gets them both.
Boy, perfect half at the free throw line for them. That'll help their comeback effort for real.
Yeah, that's keeping them close. It's going to take a full effort here in the second half, but they've got to continue to knock down these free throws.
Now here's Johnson. Johnson off the pick from Duncan. Johnson outside. Back to Duncan. 11 feet away. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Bulls trail by 14. Armstrong with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. And again, no good by Chicago. For San Antonio, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the 4th. A pretty nice efficiency there. Elliott passes to Duncan. Johnson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And he knocks down the first one. And the Spurs making a change here. Kersey's checked in. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Bulls trail by 15. Hawkins, he feeds it to Artest. Off target with his 3. And San Antonio shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Johnson kicks to Jackson. He dishes it to Duncan. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, Duncan's got 21.
He's their go-to guy. When he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Number 33, covered by Duncan. Starks. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
And he makes the first. And Both free throws good for Starks. Now here's Jackson. Johnson outside. Walker with it. Kicks it to Johnson. Clock at 6. A floater. Cannot hit. Great D that time from Hawkins. Bulls trail by 15. He kicks it to Artest. He passes to Starks. Starks can't get that one to fall.
He has not been on his game, and you know their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not helped the situation.
Johnson dishes to Duncan. Shoots from the baseline. Some solid defense right there from Starks. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. And there's the feed to Armstrong. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Yeah, good call there. You could tell he was moving into the defender when he tried to set the screen.
Yeah, lowered that shoulder, dipped right into him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're ahead by 15. A minute 50 left in the game. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Greg Popovich coaching his team during that last break. He wants to make sure they stay assertive and aggressive on the offensive end, saying, I don't want to sit on this lead. Let's build on it and not give them a chance of coming back. Guys?
Poked loose. Tries from 7. And Duncan finishes inside. Duncan's got 14 points here in the second half.
Then you can feel the pattern of this game, guys. They're working it inside, dominating in the paint, getting good shots at will.
Well, 4 of their last 5 baskets, guys, have been of exactly that variety.
A three-pointer is right on target.
I love his kind of mid to long range jump shot. It's a specialty of his, especially in catch and shoot situations.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's a very skilled catch and shoot type of player. I mean, it adds a dangerous element to his game that he can make that jump shot.
And here is Johnson after the three-pointer from Hawkins. Johnson kicks to Jackson. Shot clock at 5. Smooth as silk on the finger roll. Jackson's got 4 this quarter.
Well, it's a wrap, fellas. No way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Here's Armstrong. Back to Artest. Duncan with the block. Johnson with it. Now guarded by Armstrong. Johnson outside. Pass to Duncan. Backing down. Back to Johnson. The Spurs working the ball around now. That free throw, no good. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. And he sinks the second. 27 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
and nothing you can do to salvage this one at this point. Game over.
Not anymore. Any chance they had is gone.
Number 42. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Pass to Porter. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying so long and thanks for joining us as we leave you with the Jordan Player of the Game.